I'll start off with a question. I
Huh?
listened, like I was that athlete, that elite athlete. So I always did step up to my competition, things like that. And I'm glad that part of my life is behind me. Um, but and since I am newer to the spiritual path of, maybe in the last 3 or 4 years, so I start meditation. But and I feel like I've grown and I'm balancing the little things, the interactions day in, like getting on the subway. I sometimes have trouble with family, once in a while. But but sometimes I have a harder time is with the more external events, the sad events that happen in the world. Um, that I don't watch a lot of news, but things still get to you, or you hear about things, and there's tragedy happening here, or crimes. It's just, and so sometimes it's hard because you're trying to maintain this balance and happiness, and then but there's this incredible sadness happening in other parts of the world and stuff like that. And sometimes I'm not sure how to balance that, or how I should be reacting to that.
Well, first of all, I think we need to be true to who we are and where we are in the spiritual journey. And so trying to, artificially control our behavior and our reactions doesn't really work. I think it has to come naturally as we grow. So when we have certain reactions, okay, maybe those reactions we want to eventually be able to keep our calm in those situations, but that has to come as a result of practice, not a result of forcing ourselves in particular situations. And I will say this about sadness in particular, and especially sadness as it relates to the ongoing tragedies and sufferings of other people. I think these experiences can be very healthy. Sometimes we think of certain emotions as always negative, sadness being one of them. But emotions of and by themselves are not so easy to categorize. Sadness is an emotion that it can have a very positive benefit because it can help us to develop empathy. So as to the extent that our empathy grows for all living beings, then it is perfectly natural, and I would say healthy, to feel the emotions of others who are suffering. But at the same time, as we develop spiritually, we come more and more to rest in a place that is behind those emotions, that is deeper than those emotions. So these emotions in our mind, they ultimately rest on the surface, like waves in an ocean are only visible on the surface. And to the extent that we're able to step back and see the universe, which includes our own mind and our body and our personal experiences as a process, as a universal process of becoming, then we get, in a certain sense, we get detached, but not detached in the way that people commonly think of the word. People, when they say, you say the word detached for a person who has not been doing spiritual practice for a long time, it brings up a sense of not having emotions. But that's not really what detachment means. What detachment in a spiritual sense means is that all the stuff of life, one appreciates it in all its multifaceted glory, we can say, because sadness is part of the glory of the creation, as is all the other experiences. But we appreciate it from a place of quietness inside, where those things don't really affect us, or in the sense that they cannot take us out of that quiet place. This is, in Sanskrit, this is called vairagya. Vairagya means the ability to not let the experiences color your mind. So this is of course difficult to explain, but it's a sense that we're sitting in a quiet place and we appreciate everything that we are able to witness in this life, and that means the beautiful things as well as the tragic things. And to appreciate tragedy in the lives of others, we have to feel what they feel. And that's the development of empathy.